Alrighty. Oi, let's see. Let's see the roll call. That doesn't need to be open. Let's see about it. Let's see about it. Taco to me, YouTube. You're working. Look at that. Twitch. Also working. Imagine. Imagine. And alerts. Here so. Okay. Game on, gamers. Feel like we're there. Lurks. Current? Question mark. Do we have our MySpace top 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do. Alright. MySpace top 8 are up. The people are being taken care of. We're putting friends before frames. I think we're stacked. I think... Well, it must be Papa Bezos then. That's Papa Bezos right here. Okay, we'll live with that. We'll live with that. Okay. Well then, greetings, salutations, all. It's very good to see you, Leanne. Thank you for calling out, Leanne. Mel, hello, Mel. It's good to see you. Ivana, hello, hello. Howdy, actual heck and heck is we don't ferret. Same thing. I appreciate it, Mel. Yes, I do. Ferret, it's good to see you. Good evening to you, sir. Good evening indeed. Snoggles for me and for the she. She is falling asleep very fast. She is, wow, she has had a hell of a day. Y'all who know what her sort of work, school, sleep schedule is right now is insane. In that she has classes in the morning, like during the day, for nursing school during the week. And then Thursday nights, she needs to work a 12 and a half hour night shift in the hospital for clinicals. Okay. But then tomorrow, we've got military stuff early in the morning. So she worked all night last night. But then she came home and she was only able to sleep for 3 hours because she needed to be able to wake up today so that she'd be tired for tonight so that she could go to sleep so that she could wake up on time tomorrow. So she had to flip-flop her sleep schedule from day to nights like 3 times this week alone. So, yep, she's she's doing her best. Doing her best, and I'm super proud of her. So thank you guys again. Prayers, vibes, whatever y'all are yeeting in her direction. I appreciate it. You're getting her through. Means a heck of a lot. A heck of a lot. Oh my gosh, look how it is. How you doing, Pound? It's good to see you. So fancy. I wear 2 monocles. That's good. That's good. Gotta have them both so you can seize all the things. I appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, pinky's out for the whole affair. I assume with 2 monocles. You also need to have 2 pinkies out. Just, you gotta live this way. So you're just like, you're limited to the 8 fingers because these 2 are busy, right, Pound? Good to see you. Welcome in, welcome, welcome. Oof, sending all good vibes and sleep thoughts. Yeah, no, she is able to sleep, Mel. Don't get me wrong. Now that she stayed up all day with very little sleep, she is passing out. I just went to I was getting some final things ready and I went around, I'm like, where is she? Asleep in a random chair is the answer. Asleep in a very uncomfortable position in a random chair. So, no, she got no problem sleeping. She's asleep. But, yep, she's getting that sleep. But, hey, good to see you guys. Welcome on in. Greetings to each of you. I am excited for tonight. Short stream. As threatened, military stuffs per my go live earlier tonight, and I did need to push that earlier. Sorry, I was not near my PC between then and now, so I was like, I gotta push this to go live early. Sorry, I know that was like 50 minutes early or some nonsense, but it was either then or never, so I decided to go with then. Anyways, here we are. We made it. We made it to a Friday evening. It's a short stream. Military stuffs means I gotta be fairly strict with my timetable tonight. It also means I'm not going to be disabling chat or disabling raids, all that stuff. Raids are good to go tonight. Yes, we have some serious stuff to cover, but in the short time that we have, we're not going to be able to go like too deep. Anyways, so raids are fair game. If anybody's been wanting to guide a raid or whatever, and tonight's the night, it can be. I will be ending around 10:30. No, 10:30, 10:45. So if you're gonna guide a raid and all that, and it's like somewhere near closing time, then you just gotta be mindful of that. I don't mean to be rude, but I do need to end somewhat close to on time. So thank you in advance, anybody who would consider doing such kindnesses. But the strictures remain. The strictures remain. I also have to run a PFC tomorrow morning, which I am annoyed about. I'm not properly hydrated for that. I'm not properly hydrated for that. So, we got a free hydration. Yes, we did. Yes, we did. I'm just gonna leave that right there. Sit right there. You sit there and you think about what you've done. But yeah. No cherry stream for smooches tonight. We leave her be. Oh yeah, I'm sure she's unconscious already, Mel. So, yeah. You know, Pinky Out did not start out as being fancy. It started so people would not shake when having tea with the queen. It'd be taken as disrespect of shaking, so they'd be killed. So, what did it provide? Balance? Was that the idea, Pound? Like, what did this do? Is it like a cat sticking its tail out so that it can correct for balance? Like, what mechanical advantage does having one's pinky out provide? It's a fascinating thing, but why your hand won't shake? What? That's not true. I mean, my hand's not really shaking, but it doesn't appear to be any different. Yeah, fascinating. Won't shake from nervousness. Interessante. 1:30 my time. I'll do my best to check it. To time check it. I appreciate it, Mel. It's very sweet. Very sweet. We're all doing the same thing right now. Honestly, we're all like, hello? You got us all, like, all trolled, Pound. You're like, this is nonsense. But look at all these dummies. Bah. Look at them all. Jack. Hello, Jack. Howdy, Gus and the Mafia. A scrum tush eve, a scrum tush morning, scrum tush time zones to all of you lovelies. Very good. Karma, hello, Karma. Thank you for calling out Karma, Mel. I appreciate it. Did you look at my message? No, Karma. Dang, those are sick. What? Dude, I like the last ones. I like the last three. They're all sick. But I like those ones. Did one of y'all's people design those? Or was it like a stock? Whatever. I'm not going to describe it to you guys because it's like... It could be seen as like pseudo-doxing information. So I'm not going to describe what I'm looking at. I'm using vague terms with Karma here. I did not see your message. I was not at my PC. I apologize, my friend. Is this a time-sensitive thing? Oh god, I'm sorry. Bree! Hello, Bree. Thank you for calling out Bree, Mel. I appreciate you. Hello. Good to see you, sir. Welcome in, welcome. Let's see here. I suppose I ought to fly through an intro here and get to the components and all that. We haven't much time, so I'm gonna get to it. Hars! Hello, Hars. I do like the tie. I'm glad you like the tie. Tonight I'm wearing this tie for a particular purpose, indeed. And I like it. Thank you. Thank you. One of my Isla ties. It's wool, so it's, you know, this would be better serving me in the winter when the wool around my neck acts as a scarf. Alas, it is 77 degrees in my office right now, and that is regardless of how much airflow and AC and everything else. It is toast. It is toast. But thank you. How'd your stream go? Did you have a good time? Did you have a good time? Not time sensitive. I think they're designed by people, not 100%. Dude, cool. All official USMC approved patches though. Really? Nice. It's pretty slick. I will still have to send you a picture of what we've got, so you can see. Whatever knot you went with looks good. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is exactly the same knot. This is a Pratt knot. I have not changed it. You have not. 77? Lucky. What's 77? Who? Right? Did I say 77? Did someone say 77? Oh, the temperature. Whew. Wow, that was my brain. I'm sorry, Jack. That was, wow. That tells you what kind of day I've had. Whew. That's, my goodness gracious. It was good. First time playing Resi 2. Noise. I did not get to hear your answer to Wiggly. She asked you how the heck you liked it and whether or not you had fun. I saw something about a jump scare and that's all I heard. So I hope you're enjoying it. Glad to see you here. I know you've probably got sleep in like 15 minutes ago, but it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. And as always, if you're leaving your bandwidth here, you know I'm gonna take care of it. As well as I'm able, at least, you know. Thank you for the lurk, Karma. I appreciate you. I appreciate your bandwidth. Okay, so let's see. Speed mode, speed run, an intro here, and we gotta get to some components. Yes, we do. Greetings. Salutations all. My name is Six, or Gus, or Hey You. Guy with a tie. It doesn't have to rhyme, but if you'd like it to rhyme, it can rhyme. I'm a variety streamer. I get up to a variety of things. It's right there in the name. I presently stream on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. You can find my schedule posted below on the Twitch tab. You can also see it updated as I go along on YouTube, where the schedule is the same. I multi-stream to both. You can pick your poison. You can follow on Twitch. You can subscribe on YouTube. But you can't subscribe on Twitch, and you can't be a member on YouTube because I'm not monetized anywhere. Finger guns. So you will not see any ads up here in the corner. You won't see any ads anywhere because I'm not monetized, because I hate ads. They're awful. So I'm not monetized by the platforms. I'm also not therefore beholden to the platforms. I don't answer to them. So the content that I get up to, they can pound sand. I don't answer to them. I answer to you. I create content not for them. I create content for you. So as such, I am sponsored by you, the people who have parted with their hard-won dollars to see that this is a project that has a shot at a future. All of you guys with your bandwidth, with your raids, with your all of that stuff, the word of mouth that you guys are doing to see that this thing may yet get to continue, I am super stinking grateful for. In particular, I'm grateful. Thank you guys for all of the links. Joke, it's good to see you. In particular, I'm grateful to my public patrons, Aki, BV, Bootless, CJ number 2, Dano, Leanne, Ferret, Goose, Jen, Joke, Abby, Marty, Karma, Pre, Zen, Ryan, Thump, Tech, Mouse, Trotsky, Pell, Dragon, CJ number 1, and Zin. Thank you guys like crazy for all that you do. I say it all the time, but I'm just a human, fellow disappointment, fellow screw up. I'm gonna aim, I'm gonna aim for the lights, baby. I'm trying to shoot the lights out. But the only guarantee of my work is that I'm gonna miss that mark, that I'm gonna disappoint you, I'm gonna let you down. I'm a human, just like you. A screw up, just like you. We have this in common. If nothing else, if not time zones in common, if not age, if not a background, if not experience, if not any of that, we have this in common, our humanity. And I hope that you will extend to me patience and grace as I, unfortunately, live up to that promise of letting you down. But any good that does come from this project, if I manage to not screw things up, if I manage to not be too out of pocket, any good that comes from this is owed to the folks who make it possible. The folks who sponsor this thing. The folks who sign off on all the stuff we get up to here. Even if they don't agree with every word out of my mouth, because that's not, that's not a thing. You're not going to find somebody in this world who agrees with every single thing you think and say. We've got to get away from that. We really do need to get away from that. That's not a realistic state of affairs. Instead, we need to get really good at extending grace to the people who differ from us and try really hard to understand. We're going to talk about much more about that tonight. We're going to get into it, but yep, those are the things. Ox, it's good to see you. Hello. I hope your stream's going well. I hope you're shoosting all of the battles. You're clicking all of the pixels. I appreciate you being here like crazy. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Hope the day was good busy and not bad busy. Good busy. Just military stuff is always time that I would rather be spending doing something else, Mel. That's all. Gonna ruin everyone's day. 6 years, 1980 will be 50 years ago. Wow. Dang, if I have to know that, y'all have to as well. That's crazy, Pound. That's crazy. Always try and leave my bandwidth. Game is a lot of fun so far. I'm glad that you're enjoying it, Hars. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Also, I didn't know you and Wig were like IRL buddies. At least that's what it sounds like from what she said. I didn't know you guys were like friendos. That's pretty cool. That's pretty fun. Hydrate, anti-tilt. Very well, Joke. Thank you for calling out Joke Mail. I appreciate you very much. And thank you guys for all of the links. It's so many links. It is so many links. Okay, we're hydrating. We're gonna fight tilts here in a moment. You did this, brought this community together. You did this, brought this community together for the corners of the internet. This weird little wonderful place. Well, I have that. Yeah, it's a pretty cool thing. It's a pretty cool thing, Pound. Binge, hello, sir. Good to see you. Speaking of fabulous humans from all corners of the webs, this gentleman, I swear. Yeah, I have been fortunate to be joined by quite the crew, quite the motley assortment of folk from around this world, and it has broadened my horizons and my perspective mightily. So I have been bettered by this project indescribably. It is my hope to do some of that myself for the folks I do rub shoulders with. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody who makes all this possible. Again, follow on Twitch if you haven't, subscribe on YouTube. Pull up a second tab for a content creator that you think is doing a good job. Throw some bandwidth in their general direction, you know, put friends before frames. I've got my MySpace top 8 pulled up. Taking care of the people who are taking care of me and who are, you know, I think, again, being a good steward of y'all's time, y'all's bandwidth. People who I think are trying to be good entertainers. They're not going to be perfect at it every time, same as me, right? Screw-ups, just like me. But if I think they're doing a good job, if I think they're making an honest go of this, they've got my bandwidth. So, yeah, tonight I am also... I don't know, I already said, yeah, raids and stuff will be open. All that's going to be normal. It's under just chatting tonight because there's going to be more of that. It's going to be less strict than the normal things. I'm not even going to have the banner running along the bottom. It's all going to be pretty easygoing because this is going to be more of a... It's going to be less structured than normal. Yes, I have talking points to get to. Yes, I have bullets to get to. But it's not going to be a point by point by point. It's more going to be a free flow. It's going to be me just like riffing off of ideas that I have, and bringing to the fore here for our consideration a new bunch of the ideas that we went over in some of the other books. And then again, I want to, per my go live, I would love to field any questions that you guys may or may not have about these things. So before we jump into all of that, we got to talk about what these talks are, you guys. As I say all of the time, I believe real relationships span the spectrum from silly to serious. The hub of all of that is our Discord community, the Mafia community Discord, links in the usual places. Thank you guys for welcoming in the new joins, by the way. In particular, all of you guys who've been fielding questions and confabulating and elsewhere and making the new joins feel welcome. That means a heck of a lot. And for yeeting stickers, answering questions here in chat, even as I am in a just chatting tonight, I may yet miss things. And you guys making new folks in chat feel welcome. That's absolutely critical. Okay, we talked about this last week with the diffusion of responsibility. I know the inclination is for everybody to go, well, someone else will do it. You know what's better than someone else will do it? You and the someone else and someone else and someone else all do it. And 7 of you welcome in the new join. Because you know what's better than going to a new community where you don't know anybody and you're feeling a little out of your depth maybe, and you're like, am I in the right place? You know what's better than being greeted by one person? Being greeted by 7 people. So thank you guys for everybody who does that, for everybody who makes a conscious effort to treat people the way they would want to be treated. I went into a new community tonight, for instance, of a new-ish friend, and I had 3 people? I think it was 2 or 3 people welcome me in. Didn't know them, they didn't know me, but they didn't recognize my name, you know? And they were gracious and welcoming. The streamer knew who I was, and then they made a big fuss about it, but chat didn't. And chat got there first. And hospitality was very good, such that I felt welcomed in. Now, I've been to many more streams, many more streams, where no one says a dang word, and I'm just like, crickets. hello everybody, and then like the streamer misses my chat. And I'm like, well, I guess I'll go. So, but like even on the ones where streamers missed my chat, if chat is there and they're hospitable to me, they're welcoming to me, they're gracious to me, I'm about it. I'll stick around. Okay, I will extend grace to the streamer if their chat is like being a 10 out of 10, you know? So it's really good. Being here is so much effort for me. Yeah, give me more thanks, please. Well, Binge, I don't have the time. I don't have the time, suck it up. All praise Binge. Mel got it though. That's the only arms up one could find. Hit him with the chickens. Hit him with the derpy chickens, Mel. Very good. Genesis, how the actual heckin' heck are you doing? It's very good to see you. Welcome on back. Welcome back. I've got to get to the components here so I can raise a proper glass to you. But it's very good to see you. Happy weekend's eve. Oh, so excited. I saw someone who's being encouraged to join a CNR was in one this week. Indeed, Mel. Indeed. And that warmed the cold, dead cackles of my heart. Yes, indeed. That was something. I liked that a lot. Yes, I did. Helly! Hello, Helly. It's very good to see. How dare you? I am offended. Well, Binge. No one promised that this would be a safe space, so I don't know. Hi, me. Hey, hello. Hello. Okay, so for those of you, again, who may perhaps be new around these parts or new to Friday nights, or you're particularly forgetful, on Friday nights, I try to, in that aforementioned spectrum from the silly to the serious, Friday nights is often more of the serious. Not always, but often. Friday nights are what we call Gus Talks, okay? This is Gus Talk number 140. Which is crazy. Talk number 140, y'all. That's a lot of weeks of streaming. It's a lot of weeks of streaming with you guys. It's a lot of doing life together and tackling some of the more serious things in said life. It's kind of nuts. I'm grateful. Grateful to all of you guys who have made it so that I can continue to do this. Get to 140. That's pretty cool. Pretty slick, if I do say so's myself. So, on these Friday nights, I believe that for our conversation, there are ideally three. Tonight it's two. You'll see. 3 components what I comprise an ideal talk. Lubricant for good conversation they are. Sometimes logistics forbid me partaking of all 3, as is the case tonight. Too short a time for too many complicated logistics. So military stuff. So you can thank Uncle Sam for that. But component number 1 of an ideal talk is good drink. Now, I have a special pour tonight for a good drink. This is, as we conclude this series, I thought it would be very fun to do a sort of a dual thing, okay? Because in the middle of this series, I went on my trip overseas, right? I went on my trip over to across the pond, got to go see Ireland, Scotland. I got this fancy schmancy tie over on Islay from Ardbeg, the distillery, the Islay distillery for Ardbeg. That's where this tie is from, and it makes sense to me to also have an Ardbeg here to partake of as we round all this out. This is also a good pour, and I don't think I've ever actually owned this pour before. I've had it, and it's a good one, but I get to crack this open and share this with you guys tonight. By all means, let me know what it is in chat you are partaking of for element number 1, good drink. It doesn't need to be alcoholic. It could be water, it could be tea, it could be coffee, it could be Gatorade, okay? You can have a box wine. Like, tell me tell me what you got in chat as I crack open an Ardbeg 5-year, the Wee Beastie, okay? This is sort of the entry-level Ardbeg. So this is not a top shelf by any stretch. I don't have the funds for top shelf stuff. So this is an entry-level Ardbeg, but it is a good representation of what you can expect from Ardbeg's more expensive lineup. So if any of you are like, I don't know about peaty scotches, I don't know about any of that stuff, but you are a fan of, say, bourbons, Highland single malts, Canadian blends, maybe Japanese whiskeys, maybe Irish whiskeys, more mild stuff, and you're interested in trying a peaty scotch, I don't know that this would be the friendliest, like, introductory pour, but it is representative of what you're getting into by experimenting with peaty scotches. This is a fair treatment of that. This is a fair, it's fair representation of what you can expect to find. Okay, hello. It's got a pull tab, but okay, I'm like, geez, it's got a pull tab, but what good is it if the pull tab don't pull? You know what I'm saying? I was about to have to get out my kniffy. I was about to have to do it. We don't want it. We don't want it. Okay, so we got a brand new pour, and let's see if we can't get some bottle asthma for you guys, huh? What do you think about that? What do you guys think about that? Jack, your emotes are too flashy. Pipe down. Honestly, look at that. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. It's very danger. Very danger. Very danger. Welcome in, Beans. It's good to see you. Gus, got Mountain Dew. Also, hi, Mel. Excellent. Good. Got Mountain Dew. Okay. Thump. Hello, Thump. You got your coffee. Very good to have you. Very good. Got that coffee. Very nice. Very nice. I have air. That dihydrogen monoxide. I got you, Helly. Empty coffee mug that needs a refill. A fate worse than death. Something that needs rectifying immediately, my friend. I understand. CJ number 4. Good to see you. Hydrate. Okay, I better do that before I get to the pour. I'm not gonna wash that down. That would be absurd. Good to see you. I do need to be drinking. I do need to be Vasa trinken. All right, so good drink. Let's see about it. Let's see about that, yeah? Ooh, was that fun? Could you hear it? That's a keeper. That was a keeper. Thoop, thoop. That was a great one. That was okay. Okay, so this again is the Ardbeg Wee Beastie. This is a monster of a dram, and this is fun because I have a picture. Actually, you know what? I'll pull up the picture. I wonder if I can find it in short order here. I'll bet you I can. Trips, Scotland, scroll. Yeah, that day. Wow, I will be able to find this, like, pretty simply, actually. That's kind of funny. Oh, no, it was earlier than this. It'd have to be the previous day. Okay, previous day was this day? Yep. After that... There it is! Yeah, alright, check it out. How did I do this? Was it? Nope, it's not that. Not that one. Is it? How did I do this before? What the heck? Wasn't it? I thought it was this. Hang on. Hang on. I broke something. I thought it was just like... Oh, there you go. There you go. It's good enough. Check it out. There it is. That's what I'm drinking on right there. This was a big old poster in the airport at Isla. So the little tiny airport on Isla, this is one of the first things you see when you climb off the plane is that. And this absolutely cracks me up. So there it is. There's the Wee Beastie. This is what I'm sipping on. Look at this. Tasting notes. Tar. Tar, smoke, meats, pepper, and chocolate. There you go. The Wee Beastie. Okay. Now we're just gonna go back over to here. Hello. I drop content. All right. Do it. I didn't get it. All right. All right. All right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Boom. Been having small issues with chat not sending my chats. Interesting. That's very interesting. I wonder why. I wonder what? I love that sound. Same beans. That was a keeper. That was a keeper. That's one for the, that was one for the books. Jeez. Okay. All right. I don't know. Some nights, did I just like dribble it on my, yes, probably. First of all, just get it on my suit. I feel like I did. Okay, some days it's like you gotta coax it out of there. Other nights, you don't. I don't. Can't win. Can't win. My eyes are hydrated, and so is my skin. We're ready. Okay, so we've got our drink. A nice light pour, because again, this is a very young spirit at this point. At 5 years, that's pretty young. Pretty young. So, element number 2, good cigar. I don't get to have that tonight. No smoke for me this evening. Again, short timetables mean no smoke for me. But that third component, this is the one where, dear friends, I come each week empty-handed. This is where I must lean solely on y'all, because the third component of an ideal talk, nay, of any talk, is good company. Good company, and that's you. So, I'm grateful as heck, each week, humbled anew, that you guys would part with your Friday evenings to be here. Saturdays, for some of you living in the future, as Joke properly dropped the GIF for in the confabulating. That was absolutely my thought, and he captured it with an appropriate SpongeBob meme, and that means a heck of a lot. That's real friendship right there. That's it's good stuff. It's an important thing. He's out here doing the Lord's work in confabulating. If you don't know what I'm talking about, scroll up to like day before yesterday or something, 4 days ago. I don't know, whatever it was. It's in there. You're gonna figure it out. I'm grateful to do life alongside such remarkable humans, and that's you. So it's to you, that fabulous sort, that I get to raise my first glass of the evening. Cheers to you. You know what's funny? I haven't had the Wee Beastie in probably 2 years at this point. Probably 2 years. I've had the Ardbeg 10. I've had the Ardbeg Anoa. I've had the Ardbeg Spectacular, obviously, great pour. That's the one that's living back here. I've had a bunch of really great Ardbegs. I have not had the Wee Beastie in a spell. And it's funny, I can tell that this is younger immediately. It's good, but it's funny now that I've read that it has a tasting note of tar. Yeah, I guess I get that. I would be like, it's peat. But also, when you say it like that, when you say it's tar, yeah, I could see that. I could see that. So, yes, I stand by what I said. This is representative of what you can expect from peated scotches. So, rough headspace today. I've been slightly neglecting the bodily needs. I'm sorry, Helly. I'm sorry. Hence the air, I assume. Should at least have that H2O, you know? That dihydrogen monoxide. Should have that. That's good. That's good. I'm not that big a fan, but I'm told it's important by hashtag kind of a doctor over there. So that. In any case, I'm glad to have you here. It's good to have you in good company. It's good to have you around the fire pit, as it were. Can you guys hear the car alarm going off? Is that being picked up? I feel like that'll be picked up. Oh, they got it. All right, that's good. Sheesh. Do you recall offhand which distillery had the etched Boston shaker? Yes. So Lagavulin had the full copper ones, like full copper, and it had Lagavulin etched into it. But the one you're referring to, that was at the Bruichladdich distillery. And it was for the Botanist Isla gin. That was, they didn't have one for the whiskey proper. They had it for the Botanist, is the name of their gin that they make there. So the Botanist, it's a gin that's made there. Hooray. It's not like It's fine. It's a little pricier than other gins, and that's because it comes from Isla. But it's just gin. I think I've had it once, but like I don't sip gin either. I mix with gin. So I'm not the person to talk to about whether or not it's a quality gin, whether or not it's like I could talk to you all day about how Ardbeg is different from most bourbons, for instance, or even Irish whiskeys, or especially Irish whiskeys. They do not like each other, the Irish and the Scots, when it comes to whiskey. It's very funny. But that one with all of the cool etchings on it, yeah, that's the Botanist. So the Botanist, their whole like logo, the glass bottle that their gin comes in, has all of the herbs, because the gin has tons and tons of herbs in it, and so all of those herbs are their label. It's all the words of the various herbs etched on their glassware, on the mixing glass. I believe they had a Boston shaker that had that on it. But now I'm curious. I know where to look. Bruichladi. It'll be the last day on Isla. Yep, right there. There's the Octomore. Where is... Oh, no, they don't have a tin. They do not have a tin. They have a mixing glass. They have a raised glass mixing glass, but not a tin. Yeah, the only Boston shaker then would have been Lagavulin, which I can also pull up really easily. The Lagavulin store was such a letdown. Here they are. Yeah, there's the copper. They've got Lagavulin etched in them. Now, I think, was that the only one? No, Ardbeg must have had something, right? Did Ardbeg have it? All right, scroll back to Ardbeg. Show me the Ardbeg. Show me. Show me the Ardbeg. Shoot. Why don't I have... I do not have many pictures of inside of Ardbeg. That is super funny. I got a bunch of pictures from outside. Took a picture of the tie. All good things. And then we left. All right, do I have a video? I think I have a video of inside. I do! We'll see. I don't think I have any commentary on this one, so it should be... Oh, nope. Nope, I don't have. Is that it? Hey, I do. Geez, I'm moving too fast in this video. I can't see all of the stuff on offer. They've got glassware. I don't see a shaker tin, but could just be misremembering. So yeah, I guess Lagavulin is the only one that I have definite answers to that question. Alas, Gus gets attacked by his eye drops. It's true. That is a great way of putting it, Thump. That is accurate. Double dribbling. There was a lot. It was awful, Jack. I'm a victim here. Paul, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Welcome. Hello. I've had some water through the day, but it's been about an hour. I mean, I had like the sips of water that you just saw me have, and that was it. So, yeah, I don't know. Anyways, it's very good to have you guys in. Let's say we settle on in and jump into the meat and or potatoes, depending on your persuasion, your preference, what you're given to. Yeah. The wee beastie. That wee beastie. It's crazy how those flavors turn into all the stuff that comes later. It's nutty. Goax! Hello, Goax. It's good to see you. The most dapper man around. My goodness gracious. Too kind, Goax. I'm grateful for the kind words. Yes, I am. Well, come on in. Through chapter 1 of the book came today. I'm glad that it made it, Paul. That's really cool. Congratulations to you. The first chapter, I believe, is mostly just like introductory type stuff. I think the first chapter is like, this book is important, take it seriously. It's not like into the meat of it yet. Oh, it's defining terms. It's defining terms. What is a crucial conversation? Yep, this is important because, yeah, okay. So all it does is define terms, and then it makes the case for you owning the book that you own. Feel like that maybe could have been done in an introduction, but what do I know? Just some guy with a tie. But yeah, this is the tie, the Ardbeg tie. It goes with it's the art. I thought it was fun. Okay, so tonight, dear friends, we conclude this whole shebang. We have gone through 3 books together. Now, that's no small thing. And I have had, a surprising number of people. I'm not offended by this. I don't know. I guess I was surprised by this. I have had a surprising number of people say to me that going through these books has been the most beneficial thing that they've experienced so far in the Mafia. Now, that, yes, some of you are wondering, have those people only been here for the books? Some people, yes. And I'm like, okay, it's a low bar when it's all you've seen, right? But many others have been here long before we delved into the books. So it's very encouraging to hear that mafiosos here, new and veteran alike, found benefit in going through these books. And in particular, some of the commentary I received was that my commentary as we went through to break things down even more Barney style, and make it approachable was a word that got used. That was cool. I'm glad. I'm grateful that this has been of benefit to you guys. You guys have no doubt heard the cliche that the best way to learn is to teach. I would say that cliche, it does not stand on its own 2 legs. I would say that, and it becomes clearly less pithy when you expand upon this notion. But the idea is, once you've got to grasp enough on an idea in order such that you might be able to teach its broad strokes to another, it will help solidify what you know about those ideas in your own mind. So it's not like, if you don't know anything about a topic, teach somebody about the topic. That's crap. And I think that that's what's gotten us into so much trouble here in the year of our Lord 2024. There's a lot of people out there who've heard something to the effect of, teach it. Well, maybe know about it first. So, going through all this, I have been through these books before. I have taught these books before. This ain't my first rodeo with these ideas or teaching these ideas, but there's no end to the benefit that is accrued to me, and I believe that now that you guys have gone through it, no end to the benefit that could go to you for your choosing to go through and teach these ideas to your significant other, to your parents perhaps, to your kids if you've got them, to your neighbor, to your friends here on the interwebs, whatever. These books have done an enormous amount, an inordinate amount. Like, truly, they have lifted way outside of their weight class. Okay, they've done way more work than they've got any business doing in affecting me personally and the workplaces that I've been a part of since having learned these ideas. Okay, I have been radically transformed as a leader, and as a follower. And as a friend, I should say. These books have changed quite a lot in me. And as I said at the outset, the ideas in these books constitute an info hazard, right? Once you know, you can't unknow. Once you open Pandora's box here, you can't put it back in. It's out now. So I know that there's a handful of people who, like me, got into the books and said, got into the first book and said, it's just a book. And then at some point, you, again, like me, went, oh, crap. Because now you gotta do something with this. Indeed. Indeed. And if this one and the ideas that were given a fairly tender treatment in the beginning of this were anything to go by, then folks knew already to be on the lookout for what followed in the second book that we tackled together, The Anatomy of Peace, which took some of these ideas and went deeper still with them. And I know that this was even more difficult for a lot of you, and I appreciate you guys sharing in that, your experiences going through these books, the effect that they've had on you, any questions, concerns, comments, criticisms, heckling that you guys have had. All of that's been valuable for me, because if there was something that you thought it was a question unanswered, there was a gap in your understanding when it came to these notions, these themes, that's on me as the one teaching it, right? So if I failed to elucidate something clearly, I don't want to be wrong. Obviously I want to do a good job and do it well the first time, but I need to know that I was wrong, and that will only be of benefit to me and whomever the next person is that I teach these books to. So thank you guys. Thank you for your feedback. And then last week, as most of you know, we concluded this. We finished Crucial Conversations. This was sort of brass tacks with a lot of these ideas, okay? I taught here, I posited that the best order to attack these things in was leadership and self-deception, followed by the anatomy of peace, because these give you, this was sort of training wheels. Leadership and self-deception was sort of training wheels to what are undoubtedly very difficult ideas. This was like straight up no training wheels, like jump into the deep end, whatever metaphor you want to use. And then those are about getting your heart right. And we're going to talk more about the themes of those things. Those are more about getting your heart right to begin with. Once you've got your heart right, then we went to this. And this was tools, okay? It says right here in the subtitle of this thing, tools. Now, what good are tools if you don't have the wisdom to know when to apply them? That's why I recommend that this book be last. It's interesting, they're useful, but I think that so much of the success of using these tools comes down to the wisdom for knowing when to wield them, okay? Which application for this tool or that, and have it not just be a shotgun, yeah, whatever, it's tools, something will work, throw enough at a wall and eventually something will stick, right? Like I think that that's probably the ideal order to do these things in. That's it. That's ideal. Doesn't mean it's, the only way to do it. Clearly, some people jumped in the middle. Some people followed through as we went through it. Some of you guys had life situations that arose such that you needed to jump into the ideas like in a big fat hurry with some of these things. You had crucial conversations coming up on a deadline, and you said, now is the time. I don't have time to wait for Gus to go through these things, especially as he's gallivanting around over in Europe. So you guys jumped ahead. However you got through this material, I am very proud of you, because it's no small thing. No small thing at all. This is challenging stuff. Absolutely no question. So kudos to each of you who made the time. I know a bunch of you guys say, I don't have the time, I'm busy. Those of you who made the time. Okay? If you want something bad enough, you'll make the time. You'll sacrifice to make it happen. And some of you guys said, I want to get relationships right. I want to fix what's broken in my life, in my neighborhood, in my country, whatever. You said, I value this notion enough that I will sacrifice to learn. So you made the time. So kudos to you. I get to raise a glass to you, the remarkable sort who chose such a thing. Cheers to you then. May have underlined some already. Oh yeah, Paul, you should see mine. Mine is absolutely... I think I mentioned this last week. Yeah, I did. I mentioned this last week where I ran out of ways to, without using colored highlighters. Yeah, I talked about this last week. I don't like using colored highlighters and whatever else. I don't like all the bright colors in my books, so I use pencil. So I like underlined some things. I outlined other things. I drew arrows to some things. I wrote notes in the margins just all over the place. Some of them have like squiggly underlines. Some are double underlined. Some are triple underlined. Like it's a lot. How many rodeos am I supposed to have rodeoed by now? I'm still looking for the magic number. Yeah. I think there's some sort of statistic, Mel. Google probably knows how many rodeos on average one ought to rodeo per like year of life sort of thing. So like that'll vary for each of us. It might be as easy as that. One plugs their age in and Google's like, yes, you ought to have rodeoed X number of rodeos by now. Yeah. It's not only the impact to us, it's a ripple effect because it affects how we treat other people. That changes how they treat people. Yes, indeed. And I will be speaking to a lot of that. Absolutely. Well put. Retro! Hello, Retro. Watching American football. I like how you said American football to distinguish from European football. Very cosmopolitan of you, Retro. Good to see you, sir. Welcome. I have to go back to LSD. I was out of order with it, catching up between Fridays. I'm bracketing. Yeah. That's exactly right. Exactly right. I think I used to do a bracket thing in the margins, and I have that at like the beginning of the book, but by the end of the book, they were just full like outlines. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. Rare occasion indeed, where I'm not working during a Gus Talk. That's right. You're on your staycation, Joke. Dang it. That means I could have. Okay, I was really busy last night. I worked into the wee mornings last night. The wee hours, that's the word. Into the wee hours last night. But darn. Had I remembered that, I might have bugged you about gaming. You're like, I didn't say that's a license to play more Apex. I hope you're enjoying your staycation, sir. But I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you indeed. Val! It's good to see you, Val. How the heck you doing? How much does being pregnant suck? And outside of that, because that's not your whole personality. That's apparently a thing. It's like, oh, the baby. Yeah, but about you. So, glad to have you. Glad to have you indeed. I hope you're feeling okay. And I'm grateful to have you here amongst friends. It's always a pleasure to see you. Don't click too many links in the research of rodeos. Google may count you hung by link 4, Google sickness, and Google pretty much have you dead by click 3. What? My brain. Some Black Label. I got you, Joke. I got you. We've got a whiskey. Another whiskey here. We used to call it soccer. Always going to call it football and American football. Hey, good for you. Again, very cosmopolitan. I'm going to call it soccer. I guess it depends on my audience. It depends on who I'm talking to. When we've got our friend Mick here, for instance, I'm going to refer to it as football. In Germany, it's Fußball. So there I call it Fußball. Like that makes it confusing in a different way. Because Americans go, Fußball? We're playing Fußball? Bang, you're clicking around the little Fußball. No, it's different. It's different. Actually doing much better now that I'm getting far into the second trimester. Finally got my first video of him kicking me tonight. That's such an odd line. Were it out of context. Were it out of context, Val, that would be something. People will be like, oh, liability pictures. She's being abused. There's video of it now. That's crazy. It's all so sad. The footballer, the American soccer player. using his weapon of choice, the foot, the foos. But no, okay, that's adorable in this context. So you also finally picked a name, officially named. Very fun, very fun. Obviously don't gotta share it here. No need to dox your kid on the interwebs before they're even born. I think we're like, when we're talking about that stuff in the somewhat nearish future, Val, like that's something we're gonna be like extremely private about all of that, because like it's one thing for me to decide to be on the internet, right? I am a functioning adult and I decided I'm gonna be on the internet, so that necessarily means y'all are gonna learn about me. But like a kid doesn't opt into that, you know? A kid can't opt into that. There's a whole bunch of things in this life that they're like undeveloped little brains can't grasp the gravity of, right? So like I think we're gonna be like really conscious of what goes on the internet, because the internet's forever, you know? The internet's forever. Like I'm grateful that there aren't like little kid pictures of me out on the internet, that like social media wasn't a thing, or you know, it wasn't at least super prevalent amongst the boomers back when I was a kid. There's like photo albums, physical photo albums of me as a little kid, but those aren't on the internet, and so they should remain off of the internet. So I don't like it. I don't like it. Bugan. It's good to see you, sir. Welcome in. Always a pleasure, my friend. Always a pleasure indeed. It's good to catch you live. I hope that you're doing well. That game looked terrifying. I don't know how you do that, my guy. You were just like strolling through the game like, oh, look at the design. It's so, and I'm like, this game is freaky. You're like, DD really got engrossed in the story. And you're just like wandering through this awful thing and the cockroaches and the music. And you were like, just traipsing around. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. It's, yeah, you confused me. Indeed, Thump. Confuzzled indeed. My brain. It do be broken. I don't know. Bugin, yes. All of the Bugins. Bugins. Promise I'm not doing that. Not following him. Oh, happen to be watching the same streamer. Well, lucky for me. Lucky for me. Doesn't that make this his name day? Ah, joke. That's right. That's right. Name day. Isn't name day like historically though, joke? Like Game of Thrones and all the ye olde medieval times. Isn't name day like the kid needed to be alive for a little while to make sure that it was a viable, that the kid was viable and the kid wasn't gonna die from whatever, and then they would choose a name? Like, isn't that how they used to do things? I could be wrong on this. I could be wrong. But I thought that was the name day, and then that's when they started counting how old they were from the name day. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Send you a message about it? Bet. In any case, congratulations, my friend. That's very fun. Thank you for sharing. The baby kicking. The baby doing the kicks. If you Google an illness, too much research in Google gives you the worst scenario. Oh, worst scenario is usually, I see, Thump. But why rodeo? Like, see, if you had said WebMD, I would have gotten it immediately. You're like, don't go down a rabbit hole on medical conditions, because like I got a whole meme about this. That's, you go to WebMD and you say, I have a cough. And WebMD's response is, and it'll be your last. Like, that's that. But I thought you said rodeo. I thought you said you were looking up a rodeo. Don't click too many, in the research of rodeos. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I got bamboozled. I got boozled. My goodness gracious. Very strong opinions about people exploiting their kids for influencer status. Same, Mel. Same. Clearly. Obviously. Same, Gus. Computers didn't exist when I was little. I learned to math on an abacus. Oh my word. Hi. Are you going to bed? Thank you for doing that. You're brilliant. And you're super cool for making it as late as you did. Did you make toast? Someone's barbecuing at this hour? It does smell awfully good. Yeah, I see chat just flying out of the corner of my eye, by the way. So I'm sure that they're saying hi to you. Glances. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they're all calling you out. Yeah.
I hurt everywhere and I want to die.
Oh, yeah. She says, I hurt everywhere and I want to die. You're gonna do great. I'll see you in... You'll be asleep, so I'll see you in the morning. I love you too. Aww. She's so stinking great. Ivana, the oldest computer is something like 2,000 years old, so if that's the case, we should talk. Listen, you know what she meant. In Christianity, a name day is a tradition in many countries of Europe and in the Americas, among other parts of Christendom. The word Christendom cracks me up. It consists of celebrating a day of the year that is associated with one's baptismal name, which is normatively that of a biblical character, where their popular individuals celebrate both their name day and their birthday. Huh. But it doesn't say anything about the timeline for it, joke. I mean, that's all interesting, but it doesn't say anything about the timeline. Google, what are you doing? Pointing us, taking us on a wild goose chase. Talking the Jacquard Loom, then yes, that was the first computer. Wow, all the things. Guts! Hello, Guts. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome. I am well, thank you for asking. Well, I'm surrounded by fabulous humans. How could I complain? The anti-Kythera mechanism. Oh, that one. That's crazy. Hashtag I smell toast. Indeed, Guts. But now that the smell has developed more, it's not just like the smell of like something burning. It's the smell of meat. Someone's grilling. I don't know what they're doing out there in the pitch black, but I love them for it. It smells amazing. Wouldn't be the rabbit if I didn't bamboozle the marine. That's somehow. Indeed. My goodness. Too much RP? Role playing. Give her a kiss. Can't give her a kiss. Nope, that would require me to get up. Can't do it. Can't do it, Retro. Nope. This is the section of per region. There's a section of per region that I'm reading through. Oh, I see. Oh, so it's different per region? Oh my word, joke. We'll just let it die. We don't even need don't do research. I mean, research is cool and I am curious, but don't trouble yourself. Not familiar with this loom. I will need to look into it. Looms. We need them looms going. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a bunch of this stuff. We're gonna talk about the themes. Okay. In particular, there is a way of sort of summarizing some of the notions that we covered from the first two books. Okay. My curiosity's been piqued. I see. And I think that it's pretty well captured by the notions of the box, hence us starting there, and then the influence pyramid, and that's where we went in the second book. So we're starting with this, the box. Okay, the notion here is that there are two ways that you can do, that one can do, basically any action, okay? There is a position that one can have, a heart posture, as it were, and do any action in one of two different ways, okay? One of them in the box, the other out of the box. Now, the language that the third book, Crucial Conversations, uses to capture this in sort of being out of the box is, well, I guess we should start with what in the box is. So in the box is what we typically get up to, okay? This is epitomized by so much of what we see today, okay? Now, I am not trying to start a political fight here in the chat, okay? I don't want one. For all of the reasons for why we're talking about what we're talking about here tonight, it wouldn't be productive. So, suffice it to say that the division that we have in the world today. Now, I live in America. Y'all know this. Raises fists indeed. The division that we have in America, yes, also in Canada, yes, also in much of Europe, in Australia, in all of what might collectively be called the West. which is funny because on all of those flat maps, you know, Australia is all the way over on the other side. And so like in my brain, it's the east, but that's also because the time zones, you know, work based off of that list. And so it's all the way east. That's why they're in the future. So anyways, Western nations, we have a lot of division about a lot of things. And that is in no small part because when someone wrongs us, when someone disrespects us, when someone insults us, when someone hurts us, we have a very visceral reaction to that. Now, that's not exclusive to our time, okay? You can read any texts from any ancient cultures, and in particular, you'll find the tribal ones, and that's all of them going far enough back, right? Where the sense of self didn't really exist apart from the sense of community, okay? Who you were was at least in part a function of whose you were, right? To whom you belonged, with whom you were affiliated. There was a tribalism, and if you attack one, you attack all, right? There's a survival mechanism in this, which is an attack on one of us is an attack on all of us, so don't try it. In America, we have this fierce independence thing. And that's good in some respects, it's bad in others. It does free us from this whole blood feud crazy thing where your aunt's reputation was besmirched by some other lady in the Caspian family. What are they called? What is it's the what's the Romeo and Juliet families? Why can't I think of this? It's been so long since I've done any Shakespeare. Anyways, so you don't have to have like, you insulted my aunt, now I have to burn down your vineyard. And you're like, I don't even know these people. I don't even know my aunt. Yes, but honor demands it. So at least we don't have that. Montagues, thank you. I appreciate it. No, we agree on everything. We are united. Oh, yeah, yes, indeed. Raises tribes fists. Oh my gosh. Capulets, thank you both. I appreciate it. The Capulets. What did I say? Caspian? I was this close. Oh, okay, we got the name day thing. Okay, it's custom of the Society of the Seven Kingdoms. Oh, China. Annual celebration commemorating the naming of a person and serves to calculate his or her age. Babies are named the same day they are born. Oh, people receive presents from friends and family on their name day. Essentially what we now call a birthday. Thank you, joke. Very cool. I like it. Okay, so I do think there is value in not being fiercely tribal. People bemoan the drawbacks of being fiercely independent, but there are also drawbacks of being fiercely tribal, right? Everybody who gives it a second of thought can see all of that. Okay. Where we began with all of these books is this notion of you've got control over one person. Even in your tribe, okay? Like, even in your closest, like, relationships, your spouse, your kids, your parents, siblings, whatever, you don't got control over them. Maybe you have influence with them, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But you are independent from them. You have agency over just you, okay? Just you. Now, that's a tough thing, and we wrestled with that right out of the gate, because our inclination is to say, but they're wrong. That may be. In fact, that is the case in many instances. They are wrong. Who's they? Yes. Like, we're human. And we start there. We're human. We're all screw-ups. We have this in common. I say all the time, you guys, I'm trying to create content worthy of you. But that is a very high bar. And the only guarantee of my work, the only promise, the only assurance that I can make to you, despite my best efforts, is that I will screw it up. It is that I will miss that mark. I will fall short. I will say something that you perceive to be insensitive. I will say something or teach something or espouse something that I'm ignorant about and incorrect about, technically, literally incorrect, factually incorrect about, and could stand to be corrected about. There are takes that one could have here in 2024 that in 20 years would be unacceptable. And that's because the science will have gotten better. Our understanding of like the world and humaning has gotten deeper, like our understanding of the universe and all of it. Maybe we move beyond 42 as the answer to that, right? And we get a more comprehensive look at the whole. As we do that, we will look back on the people of yesteryear and say, wow, what a bunch of ignorant idiots. We're doing the best we can with the information we have available to us. That is what is meant by acting in good faith, okay? That is, it is hoped that each of us will be rational actors in good faith, espousing things that we believe in good faith to be accurate and wholesome and good today, okay? Now, thing also about humans is that that's going to change with time. Opinions will change, even our understanding of stuff like science, right? Science, again, outside of mathematics, outside of pure mathematics, there's no proof. Okay, this is a misnomer that people have misunderstood for a very long time. Okay, if you say prove it to me, something, there is no proof in a technical sense. There's no such thing as proof outside of pure mathematics. Okay, pure mathematics where you can do rigorous proofs. That's it. It's the only place where proof applies. Science is theories. Now, we might call it the law of gravity, but if you guys do even a cursory examination into the history of gravity, what you will find about it is that gravity actually isn't as constant as it is taught to be. There are all sorts of things that influence it. There's the strong and weak nuclear forces that you could look into, and you could find that these things actually, and our readings of them, our like really good measurements of them, have changed. And therefore the textbooks have changed. And that's only in the last 100 years. You will find that it's not so much a law. We use that as shorthand, okay? It's not a 100% of the time, all of the time. It is the overwhelming majority of the time, the preponderance of the evidence says that this thing will take place this way. It will happen, it will unfold just like this. Not guaranteed. For instance, spontaneous combustion. The law of thermodynamics, second law of thermodynamics with entropy and all that jazz, okay, all of that goodness holds technically that I could spontaneously combust here on stream right now. All of the cells, atoms in my body could annihilate at this moment and return to their form like of raw entropy. That could happen. Each of the cells technically could do that simultaneously, and I could just here be Thanos'd away. Okay, Thanos snapped away. That is theoretically possible. We say the law effectively guarantees it's not going to happen. It's a mathematical, infinitesimally small thing. Okay, so it's theoretically possible, it's just not practically possible. So, in our humaning, we are going to learn as we rub up shoulders against other humans, as we learn more about the world. Our opinions will have to change on so many things because the data will change. Okay, our grasp of all these theories, the science will get better, more refined, and therefore the explanations behind them must also. So we will change. A fundamental understanding that we all have to grasp, lest we be fools, is that what I hold to be accurate now is the same as that science. It is, if I'm an honest actor, based on the best available information right now. I am not perfect. I've never been. I never will be. We are the same in that regard. No one here has been perfect, ever. No one here will ever be perfect. We're not. This ought to be a source of humility. This is where we begin. If you are sitting there right now hearing these words and you say, I'm perfect. I don't have anything wrong. All of my takes are good and accurate, and I've never been wrong about anything. Cool. None of these books will mean anything to you. None of the words I'm speaking will mean anything to you. Don't join the Mafia community. It's filled with a bunch of disappointments with whom you will not be able to relate, with whom you will not want to create relationships, okay? Because the thing about my being a disappointment, my being a screw up, and the rest of us being that, is that the very act of your being in our presence, it's sort of contagious. So it's like matter and antimatter. You can't be around. We can't be in the presence of perfection. Okay, it will destroy everything. So go be perfect elsewhere for the safety of us all. All right, cool. Appreciate that. Thank you. Now, after that, after we concede, not perfect. After we concede, human, we can begin. We can't do anything else without that. None of it. Once we do, the world opens up to us. We step out of this narcissistic echo chamber, silo, whatever the heck we're living in, and we can start to human. And my posit to you, my argument from the beginning has been, this is important. That humaning is important. That it's something that we ought to strive to be good at. I likened it to working out. I said, just like when you strain your physical muscles in moving heavy things, in running faster, in whatever it is you're doing, and the muscles build back up stronger as you get used to this repeated action, the same thing is true for this. As we exercise our humaning muscles, we get better at the actions that require them, okay? We get better at building these relationships. We get better at fielding difficult questions, at relating to people who differ from us. As we practice these things, we can get good. The problem is, most folks today don't want to do that. They don't want to do the heavy lifting. They don't want to do the working out. It's exhausting and it's messy. Thing about working out physically is you get gross, right? You get all sweaty, you get all smelly, you get like, it can be a pain in the butt and you're like, I got somewhere to be. I don't got time to get sweaty and gross, and like your hair might get messed up. Like you see all these fitness influencers and they're like posing for like one or two movements of something and they like perfect. Their makeup is great. Their outfit is perfect. Yeah, well, like real working out, you get messed up in it, okay? And this is why most folks don't want to like be hit on at the gym, because they kind of are not at their best. I've talked to a ton of women about this. They're like, I just want to be at the gym. This was like before all the influencer craze stuff. They're like, I just need to get like my reps in, my steps in, my whatever I need to do. And I just really hope nobody notices me. Why? And all of them say, because I look terrible and I smell and I'm gross and I'm sweaty and oh my God, I'm so embarrassed I could die. Same thing goes with us humaning. Us getting our humaning reps in, it's gross. You start getting into the mess with somebody about a difficult topic, a crucial conversation, a controversial something. You get gross. It might get ugly. People might see you in this and go, ooh. You might catch a glimpse of yourself in the mirror over on the side and go, ooh, I don't like how I look in this. This is not flattering. It's messy. It's dangerous. I get why people won't want to. I get why people historically don't want to. But it has, again, been my encouragement, my challenge to each of you, my push, my admonishment, my posit, that we ought to do it anyways. In part because it is hard. In part because it is difficult. Doing difficult things is a different kind of workout. It builds character. Okay, this builds courage. This develops you in such a way that you can have meaningful relationships. That's what doing difficult things does. And then again, you get to put on your life resume, I'm the sort of person who does difficult things. I'm the sort of person who opts in to difficulty. You don't get to do that if you constantly duck responsibility. You don't get to do that. You constantly duck difficult or uncomfortable circumstances. But opting in, wading into the discomfort, that builds character. And that is something we could all stand to have more of these days. Yeah? With me so far? Okay. Can't get rid of me even though I'm perfect. That's the phrase. Dor, it's good to see you. Welcome in. Well, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate your bandwidth very much. Oh my gosh, Bez, here to negotiate? No, listen. I don't negotiate with terrorists, Bez. Don't negotiate with terrorists. Also, I don't know what you're talking about. Welcome in, it's good to see you. In the first book, we learn about the box. When I am in the box toward people, and to borrow language again from Crucial Conversations, what I default to is the easy thing, okay? Easy mode, which is someone mistreats me, I mistreat them back. Someone insults me, I insult them back, just a little worse. Someone hits me, I hit them back a little harder. This is what's known as a positive feedback loop, okay? For any of you who are interested in engineering and all that stuff out there, this is what happens when you've got a microphone that's too close to a speaker. You get this positive feedback loop, okay? The microphone picks up what the speaker is putting out, and then it amplifies it a little bit to come out of the speaker, so then round and round it gets really loud, and that's why you hear a feedback sound. Okay, this is what's happening in our world today. This explains how far down the bipartisan, freaking polarized, like rabbit hole that in which we find ourselves. Okay, one person insults you, and you say, "Oh no!" So you insult them back, but worse. And then they say, "Oh, is that right? That's how it's gonna be." And so they hit you back harder, and you hit back harder and harder and harder, and pretty soon we're where we are now. Okay, that positive feedback loop. It is the perpetuation of easy mode principles that is leading to the destruction of our ability to communicate. And that destruction leads to our ability to relate. And the destruction of that leads to the destruction of society. Instead of looking for commonalities, we look for differences. Instead of becoming skilled, follow me on this, instead of putting in the work, stretching and working out the muscles to look for common ground, even when it's hard to find, and developing that skill, we've gone the opposite way. We have developed a skill, we got a nose for it, for finding the differences and exploiting them and poking them. Our muscles are trained for the wrong thing. We've gotten good. Many of us, many people these days are really good at finding something to poke. Finding a way to cause division. We're really good at destruction, not so much at building. Any idiot can destroy. That's why I refer to this as easy mode, and it's the default for all of us, myself included, okay? I'm not exempt from this. I am in this with you. Destruction doesn't take skill. Destruction any monster can do. Now some of you are thinking, no, Gus, demo jobs can actually be like engineering marvels. You got to know exactly, you run the numbers to see how much explosive you need for this, and you can fell a building in a very specific manner. And what you just did in having all those thoughts running through your brain was flex your muscles in looking for a way that I'm wrong. Any idiot can destroy. It takes no skill to destroy. I didn't say destroy perfectly. I didn't destroy. I just say destroy cleanly. I didn't say to engineer a perfect solution for knocking over a building. If someone wants something destroyed, they can do it. To build, on the other hand, think of Notre Dame. When Notre Dame had the fire a handful of years back, there was this big to-do about, can they even rebuild it? And modern minds went, what do you mean, can they rebuild it? Like, it's a building. Like, not only is it a building, it's like an old building. Like, yes, I'm pretty sure that we can like put two sticks together and some rocks and rebuild the old building. It's not like it was like crazy engineered with math and with like polymers and this and that, and like it doesn't even need to have like an HVAC positive vacuum for its central air system. No. The skills that it took to build Notre Dame, it was said, don't exist. Special techniques used to stack rocks. We don't got them anymore. Those skills are extinct or nearing extinction. Same goes for tons of the marvels of the ancient world. We don't know how they did it. We've got some theories on some of them, and some we understand better than others. But in many an instance, we don't know how. And that definitely includes me. That definitely includes me. I don't know how to rebuild those things. Even simple structures. I don't know. I'm mechanically inclined. Yeah, I did a bunch of engineering and stuff like that, and courses and like university for engineering, but I don't know. Who's in your apocalypse party, right? Who's in your apocalypse party? Who knows how to build a house? Who knows how to engineer a building? Who knows how to engineer a bridge? Who knows how to do that? Most of us don't. It takes real work and discipline to know how to build. That can be a lifetime pursuit. Destruction, any toddler can destroy. So, easy mode is someone disagrees with us, we disagree with them right back. Someone insults us, we insult them right back. We have a perceived slight from something someone has done or said. We assume the worst. We call them monsters, and we just say, oh, you know, they're irredeemable. They're idiots. They're whatever. I want nothing to do with them because they're morons and stuff. Yeah, whatever we want to do. That's being in the box. Now, the language, again, that Crucial Conversations might use here is ask yourself, why would a reasonable, honest, what they said, a rational, reasonable person? Is that what it is? Oh, why would a reasonable, rational, and decent, there it is. I just literally opened the book to a random page. It's right there. Don't believe me. You don't take my word for it. Right there. Right there. Reasonable, rational, and decent person. That's crazy. Okay, so this is how we start with getting out of the box. First, we recognize we're not perfect. Second, we might ask ourselves, in extending grace, perhaps extending the benefit of the doubt, why would a reasonable, rational, and decent person, there doesn't need to be a perfect descriptor of them, right? You're like, what if they're not decent, guys? Why would they do or say the thing that they did or said? Why would they behave the way that they behave? Why? What possible explanations are there for this person's actions? In that I'm not them, I don't know. I can't know unless I have more information, right? And the third book calls that the pool of shared meaning. If I have no shared pool of meaning with you, I can't know your motivations. I can't know your hopes, your dreams, your desires. I can't know your aims. I don't know what you're getting up to, why you'd get up to those things. I don't know those things. There's a notion that I want to return to in my conclusion in this, okay, of earning the right. Earning the right to have difficult conversations. I'll come back to that. First, that was our introduction, the box. You can either be in or out of the box with all of your actions. And, as we saw, whether or not you are in or out of the box has a huge impact on how others receive you, on how productive you are in your workplace, and on your own peace. Okay? And that's where the title of the second book comes in, The Anatomy of Peace. Now, there was no roll credits moment in the second book. There was no, this is the anatomy of peace. Okay? But the notion that they hammered away at was a heart at peace versus a heart at war. Okay? And they dissected how to have the former, how to have that be the prevalent force in your life versus the heart at war. And the terms could be used interchangeably for being out of the box and in the box, respectively. Okay? You're in the box, you've got a heart at war. And like I said, you will use any excuse that you come up with, your self-justification, to be at war, to remain at war, to nitpick, to poke, to fight, and to dismiss, to dehumanize, to debase. Having a heart at peace, the implications of that are you could have peace. Actual peace. I don't know a single person who's gone through this material and said, this was totally useless to me, guys. I just pick fights all of the time and I'm good. I sleep perfectly at night. I just fight people all day long. I dehumanize others. I just belittle and berate all day and I sleep like a baby. And that's because I haven't brushed up against too many psychopaths and not any that I've had a really good conversation with about such thing. Okay? Instead, when we're in the box and we treat people like crap, when we assume right out of the gate that they're not a rational, reasonable, decent person, when we assume right out of the gate they're not those things, we also assume they're not worthy of my best. They're not worthy of my consideration. They're not worthy of my giving them the benefit of the doubt. They're not worthy. They are less than. And when you're constantly surrounded by people who are less than you, it's irksome. It wears on you. It grates on you. If I'm surrounded by so many incompetent humans, all these awful people, if only I could have competent employees, bosses, supervisors, co-workers, cohort, peers. It robs us of our peace to live this way. It's exhausting. It's exhausting to live in everybody sucks. I'm surrounded by idiots, irredeemable idiots. I hate them. I hate the people. I hate people. I can dislike people too, but it's exhausting to hate people. It's also fruitless. It's also a waste of energy. Because again, I've got control over one person, and it's me. I can hate them all I want. I can sit here and wring my hands with disgust. Stupid idiots. Does that change them? Does that improve them? Does that improve the society? Does that improve the circumstances? No. No, it doesn't. It makes me miserable. This is the whole hate is drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, right? That's what I'm doing. So okay, I'm gonna read a little bit of chat here and then I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna jump into the influence pyramid, which is something I definitely want to hit. So I don't want to derail too hard here. I'm gonna keep it together, brain. Chat is dangerous. Keep it together. Oi. I like coming here to feel smart. Helps when I get to work and they tell me to put the fries in the bag. Yeah, usually human it out by dollar menuing it up. I'm less of a human in 2024, no dollar menus. Work has dignity, Bez. You've heard me say this before. Work has dignity. Any work. It's a question of attitude. I'm an idiot that can destroy, and I approve this message. I would posit that this is two-sided. People end up in their silos where they're in a positive feedback loop. While in there, they're also only subjected to the most negative feedback from the other side. Yes, only ever see the most extreme cases. They don't get exposed to the vast majority. Exactly. Absolutely, joke. I don't know how that's two-sided. Oh, you mean such that it's not... Okay, never mind, I got it. You're like furiously typing. It's not the other side expressly that's causing the feedback loop. It's hearing from the other side when actually it's your own side in your silo, your echo chamber, that's giving that positive and rah-rahing. Okay, got it. Yes. We have gotten bad at parsing things as well. Certainly true. Totaling a car versus building a car. Dang, that's a great example. Wish I'd have thought of that. Mel, so smart. Give this man a cigar. Honestly, Bez, no cigar for me tonight. It's a short stream, I'm afraid. Next Friday, though. Next Friday, I'll have my Shigar. Look who it is. Holy cannoli. It's Phoenix. How are you, Madham? It's good to have you. Welcome on in. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. I am grateful for the raid. It means a heck of a lot. My goodness gracious. To what do I owe the pleasure? Your timing is impeccable. I was just catching up on chat. Welcome. How are you, gang? If you don't know Phoenix, we're gonna do a quick shout out here. Shout out at Phoenix. I am trying to keep my brain focused on some of the lecture material. I'm not in a strict lecture here tonight, hence my allowing raids and all that, which I typically don't have on Friday nights. But I'm going to try to keep focused on some of the material that I do have to get to. So briefly, gang, I say it all the time. I understand keeping your follows clean. I understand all that stuff. So I never ask that anybody follow blindly. I never ask that anybody follow sight unseen. So if y'all would do me the kindness of doing a vibe check on Phoenix, that would be pretty swell. I gots to say. I met Phoenix through tech. Yes, I did. That fellow that we all know. It's very good to have you in. How'd your stream go? Did you have a good time? What'd you get up to? Was it a good one? Did you enjoy yourself? And also, of all the people you could have raided, here you are raiding little old me, little old we. You have my thanks. You know this. It is my aim to steward well that which you've entrusted to me. I take very seriously raids, and you bringing your platform, your people, and all that to here, especially on a night like tonight where we're touching some serious things. Pretty cool, I gotta say. So I'm grateful. Also, you've done me one kindness, but if you do me a further kindness, I'd be extra grateful. Would you do some self promo, Miss Phoenix? Would you let us know in chat here what it is you get up to when you stream? What people can find you doing when they go do their proper real vibe checks? What is it that they can expect to find there? And part 2, when can they expect that? when do you stream? When are you next streaming? What if they've got a particular event coming up? Whatever, all that stuff, whatever self promo you want to toss out there, I'd be grateful if you would do that for me. I can never do justice to any one individual streamer, so I'm always asking that the raiders themselves do that. So you don't have to if you don't want to, but the platform's there if you'd like to utilize it. So again, you have my thanks. The casting of Frank Stone. I don't do horror games. I was gonna say, I don't know what that is, so it's probably a scary game. Yep, samesies. I also don't do scary games. No, definitely not. I do not do those things. No, thank you. No, thank you. I just need to check this and this. I need to update all of the things. Who the heck? Interesting. I wonder why that switched to that. There's a ladybug in here. No shot. Why is there always? It's like every. Is this like a thing, gang? Is this a thing in? Like, is there like a superstition out there? You guys know I'm not a superstitious sort, so I am not the person who would know this. Is there like some sort of cultural superstition out there that says ladybugs are good luck or bad luck, some sort of omen? It's a pattern, it means something. I don't know, because I have a ladybug in here, like a new ladybug in here, like literally every Friday night. I don't get it. I don't get it. Okay, let's see. Variety streamer? Good, we got the sales pitch. Thank you, Phoenix. I'm a variety streamer. So I just play whatever, depending on my mood. Also, I stream usually on my days off. Worked a shift today, so I took time to stream. Oh, you did both today. Kudos to you. Work back to back. It's very cool. Very cool, Phoenix. I appreciate the sales pitch. Yes, I do. And again, I'm grateful for the raid. If you're sticking around for this, you're jumping into us discussing, summarizing a bunch of what we've gone through in these 3 books that we've done together as a community. Leadership and Self-Deception, The Anatomy of Peace, and then finally, Crucial Conversations. Tonight, we wrap all of that up. We close the chapter on this season of having gone through these 3 books on effectively what our series here tonight is called, How to Human. That goes for the rest of you raiders out there. If I have not yet had the pleasure of making your acquaintance, my name is Gus6 Godfather. Hey, you guy with the tie. I'm a variety streamer. I get up to a variety of things. But tonight is some of the more serious stuff that we get up to. So it's a just chatting session, yes, in that I don't have raids disabled and all the follower only chat. I typically have that in place on Friday nights, but tonight is a short stream. It's short because I have military stuffs that are screwing up my schedule. So I need to end in roughly an hour. And yeah, tomorrow night we get to resume some of the silliness. Tomorrow, I'm back at The Mafia. I'm playing The Mafia for the first time. I know, there's a bunch of people who are like, The Godfather, you haven't played The Mafia? Yeah. I'm playing it for the first time. The patrons voted, and now I'm playing it. Last Saturday was the first night I did not get very far in the game because I was being ridiculous. But we're resuming that for another short stream tomorrow night. So I hope you guys will join in for that. Follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, join the Discord, the hub of all that we get up to. You could do far, far worse than getting plugged into that community there, and then do what this says, the CNR, the Cosa Nostra Rendezvous. I hope that you guys will give them a look-see. Thank you for dropping the links, Joke. I appreciate it very much. How do you know it's a new ladybug? Because the ladybug from last week, Joke, is upstairs. I just saw it earlier. And it has not all week traversed back down to here. So I suspect it is still upstairs. I have it on, it's not for sure, but it seems to me likely that this is a new one. Yeah, so I do catch it and release. I send them over there with the plants. So maybe it's the same one coming back every week to better themselves. I love that. That's my new headcanon joke. It is the same ladybug. The wisest and most hard mode of lady. Forget what I said. about me transporting the forget that. They have found a way. They have persisted in hard mode to come back to learn things. I like what the thing joke said. That was better. If memory serves, a ladybug in the house is a good thing. Ah, okay. Ivana knows things. Excellent. Excellent. He's counting the spots. Yeah. Thank you for the alert, Phoenix. I appreciate it very much. Very much indeed. If you decide that everyone is bad, you will only see the worst in everyone. Indeed. And the effect of that is, again, exhausting on us. They call it, in the first book, they call it self-deception, gang. Self-deception is where we deceive ourselves, okay? And we can come up with all kinds of justifications for why we ought to treat somebody as less than. Why we ought to dismiss somebody. Why we ought to berate somebody. Why we ought to withhold respect. Withhold showing respect from somebody. We can come up with all sorts of reasons. We are, for some reason, as people, as humans, we are infinitely creative in the excuses that we can come up with for why we ought to treat someone as an object and not as a person. Yes, we dehumanize them. We strip them of their humanity. We say, they're an object. An object is not worthy of my esteem, worthy of my respect, my time, my regard, my careful consideration. They're not worthy. An object is not worthy of that. An object is an object, right? Like I got this little bottle of eye drop content goodness right here. I don't need to care about the feelings of this piece of plastic, right? I don't need to show it like the same respect that is due a human. Yeah, I need to be a good steward of it, but it's definitely a category on its own and everybody knows it. And any contrarians, again, are just flexing those muscles on disagreement. So, okay, the second book, Blinker Fluid, Show It Some Love. God, I'm worried about using the blinker fluid. I regret having used it as an example joke because as nice as it'll feel probably, I worry. I knew this was going to be a possibility. Ah, see, now it's not. Ah, now it's not doing the thing and it's got me messing up. Is this even? Okay, it's still got plenty. We got that blinker fluid. Blink, blink, blink. Blink, blink, blink. Okay. Woo. Woo. All right, Ladybug. You just go ahead and sit up there and be good luck, like Ivana said. No, she didn't say good luck. She said it's a good thing. Which implies good luck. Good omen, good whatever. I mean, you're good for, like, pests, but again, there aren't any in here. You'll have to go elsewhere, dear friend. You'll have to go elsewhere. I mean, I understand if you're sticking around for the lecture, but at the end of the night, I'm gonna have to escort you out. So you can go back to eating pests. Okay? Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So I want to, so as we get to the second book here, this idea, I want to build up to that notion that I mentioned about earning influence, earning access. Okay? Earning access might be a good way of putting it. So I have a visual. Yes, it's true. Look, we have a thing. This is very exciting. Okay, so check it out. You've got the influence pyramid, and it's not going to be a pretty pyramid because I'm a human and I'm using a mouse. Okay, and anybody who uses paint knows how difficult it is to do things with precision on the mouse. Ladybug's keeping office pest free. She's doing the hard work. Yeah, well, I mean, if it were keeping pest free, I wouldn't be here, would I, Ivana? Not doing your job then. Am pest. I am certainly pestering people. All my notifications and my word pyramid. Yeah. Okay. Paint has a triangle tool. Listen, we don't need it. We don't need it. Okay. We have this is the influence pyramid. Okay, that is a disproportionately. No, we don't need that. We need to go smaller on that one. This is. I'm gonna run out of space if I make it too big. Okay, we've got one down here. We got toe. That's too big. We gotta go down lower. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. And that's all disproportionate. Golly, I messed that up pretty bad, didn't I? Oh, well. Okay, well, okay. Listen, we're just, I want to talk about what it means to get to the top of this. This is, no. Where did was it my brush that I had? Okay. Earn. Oh, golly, this is impossible. This sucks. I'm drawing. Yes, I have like pictures of this available, you guys, but I'm going to make modifications. That's why I'm drawing my own, okay? Earn. Access. Okay. It has a text tool. No, listen, we're doing great. I don't know how to use any of those things, joke. You're okay. Look, a text tool. Wow. That. Fine. Jeez. Rude. Okay. Do that. Okay. Earn access. But see, now it's. Wait, is access 1 C's or 1 C? No, it's 2 C's. What the heck? Why did that look so wrong? See, now it's like I gotta change the size. I gotta do all kinds of stuff. Make it bold. Make it. I'm gonna change the fonts. This is. It's no good. It's no good. It's no good. Yes, now we could make it Corleone. We could do that, and that's neato. We could earn access. That's great and all. But no, okay, stop that. Earn access. That's what's way up here. Okay, we earn access. Oh. No, delete that. Ah, crap. How do I? Oh, I don't know. Listen, you broke things. Please remember to save this and post it in Discord. What we do as people is we think that where is my pointer tool? Isn't there just like a pointer tool? Select. No. Fine, whatever. We think that if we have knowledge about something, and maybe we do genuinely have knowledge about something. We are knowledgeable about a certain field, okay? We have an expertise, perhaps, in a particular area or surrounding a certain subject, yeah? And we are frustrated because somebody else out there who doesn't have our credentials, who doesn't know what we know, who's wrong, is spouting incorrect information, okay? Knowingly or otherwise. They are saying something that you know to be harmful or just incorrect, okay? Even if it's just incorrect and it's not necessarily harmful, they are spreading something that's false. And you want to correct the situation. You want to exert some sort of influence here to right the wrong, the injustice that you're seeing, right? How? How do you do that? What we most of the time do is we use the tools for rhetoric, yeah? Tools for rhetoric, which were the basis of the first 3 Gus talks that I gave. Okay, ethos, pathos, and logos. And we wield these usually clumsily because we are not schooled in rhetoric. We are not rhetoricians often. You may be an expert in a whole bunch of things, but in rhetoric, not so much. Maybe you are better at one of these than others. Perhaps you lean more on one than another. Okay, ethos, an appeal to authority. You lean into credentials, yeah? Pathos, perhaps you appeal to emotions. So do you paint a picture, tell a tale, maybe a scary story, and you scare someone straight, as it were, from their incorrect view of things. Or perhaps logos. You beat them over the head with logic. A is A. It can't be B, as you are positing, for it is A. However it is that you do this, the problem is that, and this is something that I did not touch on in those first 3 talks, because Joke is right, you could use all 3, but actually, it won't matter. Those first 3 talks, what I should have done is had a whole separate talk, perhaps, after introducing all 3 and the employment thereof. A 4th talk that says, it's great that you can do all that, but it won't matter. In large part, it won't matter. Not today. Why? Because the debaters that were around when Aristotle comes up with these posits, when the tools for rhetoric are being employed, okay? Out in the Decapolis, out in the square, out in Greece, okay, with the thinkers, is that they were dealing with, at least in part, in theory, honest actors, honest debate partners, okay? And if you used or abused these tools, you'd be called out for it. Something like a gentleman's duel. They'd say, that's not an accurate representation of things. You'd be cast out. Now, there is no benefit of the doubt that the person I'm dealing with is a good faith actor. There is no, if I accurately use logic here, if I present my case in an irrefutable manner, A is A. The letter A is A. It is not B. It is not sometimes C. It is not, depending on my mood, E or F or G. It's A. A is A. Well, now we live in a world of like this postmodern relativism nonsense, okay? Where someone, because this is what they will do, because their aim is not to have a productive conversation, because their aim is not to find common ground, because their aim is not real and lasting relationship, because their aim is not the betterment of mankind, but instead is to troll, to harm, to discombobulate. They will dig in their heels and ply this A is B. And anyone who disagrees with me is a insert slander here. No, A is A. You could make a airtight argument that stands on its own, okay? A is A. It does not guarantee that the recipient, the hearer of this, will in good faith accept your argument. And that's true of ethos, again, an appeal to authority, because now what one party will say is, well, here's my source. Here's where I got that from. So-and-so said it, so-and-so wrote it. There's this article, there's this study, there's this whatever. And the other party, the negotiating partner in this, will simply say, I hand wave away your sources. I do not care where you got this information from, or I do not care for where you got it from. Your source, I don't agree with anything they say or do. I dismiss them wholesale. But what about all of their degrees and their specialty? Doesn't matter. They said one bad thing once. I don't like your authority that you're appealing to. Try harder. Okay, what about this authority? Nope, also stupid, because I guess so. I think so. I say so. What about this person? No, also, they said a bad thing once, so everything that they say is discounted. Can't ever be counted. Nope. You get what I'm after here. If someone wants to disagree with you, they're going to, aren't they? If someone comes to you and acts in bad faith, there's nothing that you can do to guarantee that a conversation will be even useful. You can employ expertly, brilliantly, carefully, and thoughtfully pathos, ethos, logos. Doesn't matter. Or at least it doesn't guarantee that it will matter. And that is because you've got people who are not acting in good faith. They do not wish to have a productive negotiation. That is not their aim. In fact, as I said, we don't practice the muscles of looking for common ground. We practice and strain and work and stretch the muscles for disagreement. I will find a flaw in your argument. And if there isn't a flaw, or at least not an apparent one, I will invent a flaw. What do you do in the face of this? That's what I want to get to with this. That is the hard question that I want to answer with what little time we have left. I want to tackle that, and that's how we do this with the influence pyramid, okay? With the influence pyramid, we start with getting out of the box, okay? So I'm going to do my little text tool thing that I know exists, thanks to Joke, okay? Get out of the box. Heart at peace, okay? That's where we start. Wow, that worked out like perfectly. Look how centered that is. That almost makes up for how bad the pyramid looks, doesn't it? We start here. Now, what we most of the time do is say, I'm going to correct. Correct them. Correct them. Okay? I'm going to correct them. I'm going to that's not bad. It could be worse. I'm going to correct them. Okay? This is where I will say, if someone's wrong and I have an expertise, this is what I will jump to up in the top. Okay? This right here could be rhetoric. Debate, argue. Okay? That's what this top could be. I will employ rhetoric. I will debate, and I will argue my points as saliently as possible. I will make posits in an effort to correct someone that I see as wrong, or someone who is legitimately wrong, because that's a thing, right? We know this. It's ridiculous to say that some people, they're just never wrong. We're all wrong. We start there. We all make mistakes. We all have bad takes with some things, right? So you could legitimately be super well versed in something, and you could have found somebody who is legitimately, inarguably wrong, incorrect, and you go to fix it. And you start up there. Problem is, all of this. Oops, that's not. The problem is all of this. That whole bit of the pyramid up there is floating on nothing. All of this up here is hovering. Got nothing to stand on. It's gonna fail. Today, certainly. Perhaps once upon a time, there were good faith actors almost assured in one's interactions. Perhaps. But it's not today. Now, I'm not convinced, and I don't know that I could be convinced, that even once upon a time, those people in their white robes, right, sitting there in Athens, are sitting there having debates as gentlemen. I doubt it. Okay? I doubt it. Because humans. Because human nature. We all consider and be like, were they really as high-minded about this stuff. Maybe some were. Maybe some took this very seriously, but that'd be the same as today. So, human nature says that's not going to work. And I suspect historically it hasn't worked very well either. So what do? We need all of the rest of the pyramid. Now, that's where we go back to this right here. Build relationships with their community. Okay, what is... How do I... Okay, this is silly. How do I, like, select... How do I move this? How do I... This is actually making me crazy. God, I hate... There, fine. Jeez. Okay. Build a community. Wow, that just got, like, gross and awful. Build a community with their community. Build relationships with their community. This is, if I don't have access to this person and I can't directly form relationship with them, perhaps I can build rapport with the people around them. Okay? That's where this begins. That's where this happens. Build relationships with their community. Then, up here, I don't know, I'm doing that. I don't think I have this thing selected. I don't. There we go. Build relationship, that's not how you spell that, with them. Now perhaps we can get to know them a little bit, okay? We start building a relationship with them. Next, and I know I'm flying here, but this is all a recap, you guys. We went through this ad nauseum going through the second book together, okay? Now this is listen to and learn about them. And all of this seems like an awful lot of work. Trust me, I know. Then this is where we exercise this second from the top here, teach and communicate. This is where we employ the tools in crucial conversations. This is where we employ speaking devices like contrasting, right? This is where we say, here's what I don't mean. Here's where I communicate my tools with rhetoric, perhaps. Here's where I present my case and make my position and my approach known. This is where I can communicate with this person. I don't mean to destroy you, to belittle you, to berate you. It is not my aim to embarrass you. It is simply my aim to correct something that I've noticed is wrong. And here are my, reasons. Here's my approach. Now, once you've done all of that, you get to correct the bad behavior, the bad information, the bad take. What do I have written up here? All of this down below here, okay? All of this brush. Let's make this red. All of this. Oh, we did so well. Is the homework, to paraphrase the third book. All of that, starting at the bottom and working your way up, is the homework required you have to earn access. You have to earn access to this person to their mind, to their opinions. You have to earn the right to talk to them about something difficult. Now, is this every communication ever? No. This is for successful communique. We can sit here all day long and shout at one another. We can do this right here. We are in 2024, friends. It is an election year in the United States. We could do this all day long, baby. We can yell and shout and holler and scream and call people names, and we can point out where they're legitimately wrong, the people with whom we disagree. We can make a fuss. We can use all of those rhetorical tools, right? We can appeal to authority, right? Here's what my sources say. Well, here's what my sources say. We can appeal to pathos, appeal to emotion. We can make an emotional response. Well, this person hates you. Well, this person thinks you're stupid. Well, anybody who says this is stupid. Well, Or we can appeal to logos. We can provide just facts, solid numbers. We can do all of that stuff. And we will. And no one's gonna budge an inch, are they? And you know what's perhaps more important than that? We will become more divided. So this brings me to the question. This brings me to the question that the third book asked, Crucial Conversation asked many times for you to consider. What do I want for this relationship? Do I want to be right? Do I want to sit here and yell and scream and shout? Do I want to embarrass this person? Do I just want to win an argument? Do I want to make someone look stupid? Do I want to correct someone's numbers? That is a weird zoomy sound. If that's what I want, my actions will reflect it, won't they? So when that's how someone behaves, when that's how someone comes out, guns a-blazing, and they embarrass you, perhaps publicly, you know their motives. That person has just told you, in no uncertain terms, that they're not actually interested in understanding you. They're not interested in common ground. They're not interested in perspective or the broadening thereof. They are not good faith actors. They want to embarrass you, humiliate you, anger you, dehumanize you, other you. They want to other you. That's what their actions say. The question is, for each of us, in all relationships, okay, this is not a purely political thing, this is our entire lives. What do you actually want for this relationship, the relationship in question? Do you actually want to understand your relationship partner, this counterpart? Then your actions will reflect it. If all you want is to embarrass, to inflame, to anger, to troll, just jump straight to the top. The consequence of which is an even more divided world where we have an even harder time connecting with people. The dating scene, guys, it's totally separate talk, right? But we've talked about this before. Dating scene is a nightmare right now. I hear from all you single folk. As I said, I'm pretty sure I was on the last chopper out of Vietnam, okay? Me and getting together with the hot bride and like putting a ring on it. I feel like the zombies swarmed underneath and y'all are in some hellscape, like post-apocalyptic nightmare in the single game right now, all right? is that harmed or helped by how divided we are as a nation, as a people? You find someone, maybe they're kind of cute, maybe they're and maybe the difference is you say one thing wrong and they go, oh, you like so-and-so. Nope. Gone forever. There's no facet of life. There is no part of this world that is helped by this division. We exacerbate this problem every day. So what do you actually want for this relationship? Well, if you're trying to be a good faith actor, if you're trying to do this hard mode thing, if you're trying to put a finer point on it, treat people the way that you want to be treated, perhaps with love, consideration, care, respect, you've got to do that for others. And if you actually want to extend that to others, then this, all of this down here, that is the homework. All of that is required for you to earn access. All of this down here is adding to the pool of meaning. We start with, you got to be out of the box. This person needs to be a human. You have to have a heart at peace toward them. You just jump straight up to here, you don't got that, the whole thing is undone. Doesn't matter. I'm not willing to listen to somebody who thinks I'm an object and treats me like one. I don't care. I will tune out so fast, so will we all. Okay? Build a relationship around. Maybe this means gaining perspective about their world. Caring enough to care about their world. If you're sitting here saying, how could a reasonable, rational, decent person have reached the conclusions that they did? If you actually care about the answer to that question, then you'll do the hard work of meeting people in that world, in that space. You'll do the legwork to get to know reasonable, rational, decent people who believe what they believe, who vote differently than you, who dress differently than you, who carry themselves differently than you do. Okay? Then you build a relationship with them in particular. Okay? This person, you start to understand them specifically, not just their community to which they are a part, to which they belong, but them specifically, because we're each individuals, are we not? You're not a monolith. You, whomever with whom I disagree, you're not a monolith. You're an individual. So now I need to build a relationship with you and start adding meaning to a shared pool between us so that I understand you and you can understand me. And I've built such an environment that you want to contribute information to that shared pool because I'm not deceiving you. I'm not tricking you, which you'll catch if I am. You'll spot me. You'll find out if I'm deceiving you. So all of that needs to be real so far. Can't get past the BS detector. Then we can teach and communicate, adding more and more and more to the pool. And from there, we can correct bad behavior or incorrect, wrong behavior. I have a great example of this. I'm not going to talk about the specifics because I don't want to call anybody out in particular. Okay. I have, in the Mafia from time to time, I have had a few people reach out to me individually, like one-on-one. Okay, I've had a bunch of people in chat who have disagreed with me. Okay, sort of like mouse and keyboard warriors out there who say, you're wrong about something, and then they're gone, and that's it, okay? Some of them are just trolls. Some people genuinely had an opinion about something, but where they shared it is in chat, and that was it. Okay. And I like don't know the person. I don't have a relationship with the person. And I'm like, hey, I don't understand. Oh, bye forever, I guess. On the other hand, I have had very few people who have done all of this homework, hang on, we're gonna shrink. No, I can't shrink it down. I'm not gonna, never mind. I'm just gonna end up breaking things. I have had some people do all of this. And they build a reputation, they build a rapport with me, they build a relationship with me. And then they come to me and say, hey Gus, I gotta talk to you about something. You said this thing, and I don't think it was great. I don't think the way that you handled this was as good as it could have been. I don't think that this had the impact that you wanted it to have. The way that you worded it, the tone, there was something in there that was off, and I think you came across like this. And I know that that wasn't your intention, but it's how I heard it, so I know others probably heard it that way too. What do you think I say to those people? Holy crap! Thank you! You know those words, like, how, you know what could cause those words to fall flat? Me responding with, and you are? The people that I'm willing to hear feedback from, and this goes for all of us, are the people who've done the homework. The people who've done the legwork, the heavy lifting. And if you're sitting there like, but guys, that's like, you're talking about, in some cases, years. People making a concerted effort to make a relationship. Sure, you can get out of the box. Like, you can get out of the box pretty quick, right? We went through this in the first book. It's incredible how quickly this bottom one can take place. That's a remarkable thing, how fast that transformation, just like that, right? You get it in your brain, you have a desire, and you act on that desire. You don't betray it, right? That bottom bit, that can be, whoo, moments, baby. That can be fast, lickety split. Immediately after that, build a relationship with their community. Oh, you mean the Mafia? Yep. As the philosophers, the renowned and well-known philosophers, the Spice Girls once said, if you want to get with me, you gotta get with my friends. Okay? If you want to be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. You gotta do the work. You've gotta get in relationship with my people. Then maybe you come to like the CNRs or whatever it is. In the forums where I am, in the spaces where I am, where I make myself publicly available, where y'all can access me. I don't have time to field every single DM that I receive. I receive a lot of them. Especially when on Wednesdays, I set aside the entire day specifically to do this. Okay? All day. And if you don't make the effort to utilize that, I don't know how to help you. Then you got to learn about the person. And you're sitting here thinking, this is so much work. All of this, Gus, this could be weeks, months, years. All to just tell them you're wrong? Yes. You could just tell them that they're wrong right out of the gate, right? You could genuinely, this is why I did not recommend and still don't recommend going straight to this. This is tools. Tools for talking. Where are we communicating? Way up here. What about all of this? Yep, all of this is the first 2 books. Yeah, I've got to get my heart right. I need to get my motivations right. I need to have my motives. I gotta get all that stuff sorted out. I need to be building actual real relationships. I gotta do all that stuff before I can even use these tools. Now, this book said something right out of the gate. Right in one of these things, when it first starts giving these tips and tricks, it said, you have to mean it. What do you mean you have to mean it? It means, again, people can spot your bullshit. People hate being manipulated. I hate when I detect someone's trying to manipulate me. So do we all. Why? Because it's an objectification. They are dehumanizing me. If I say the right words, if I push the right inputs on this robot, the output will be this. The response will be this. No, I'm a person, and so are you. So you don't like it when someone comes up and starts poking buttons on you saying, how come you're not giving me the output that I desire? Because they're dehumanizing you. And you know it. So it sucks. So you resist them. And what's worse is maybe now you will resist and ignore even accurate information. And this is where we find ourselves, okay? We are in such a space right now. We are in such a time right now that you might actually be receiving accurate information, accurate intel. But you go, I don't like the sender. I don't like the way they said it to me. I don't like the way they presented the information. And so you lose access to vital information. That's why even the tools book said, you can't just use these. They're manipulation techniques, and people will spot that. You actually have to mean it. In other words, you have to be out of the box. You have to see them as a person worthy of your respect. You need to build a relationship. All of this just so you can use the tools. My argument is, so long as more and more people keep doing this, maybe they lecture on something, maybe they teach on something, maybe they have facts and figures, and they are trying to correct your incorrect information, right? Trying to do all of that. So long as you feel manipulated, so long as you feel like a number, so long as you feel like an object, this can't stand. And you will resent the person, the party, the other, the nation, whomever the other is. You will resent the party across the table from you, that is, not a political party. You will resent the other party in this exchange for not seeing you as a person. And you will dismiss them, and your view of the world will get smaller, not bigger. You will become more jaded, more cynical, not more understanding. Your view will not widen. You will become more difficult to communicate with, not less. Your heart will become hardened, and as a result, you will dig in your heels on all sorts of stuff that you shouldn't. I started tonight by saying, as our understanding of the world changes, as our understanding of science and stuff gets more and more and more precise, we will have to let go of the old scaffolding that we used for understanding, because that's what science is, a scaffolding for understanding. We need to be able to, as functioning, good people, as reasonable people, as decent people, let go of old scaffoldings that no longer serve their purpose. We can't do that once we've decided anyone who tells me my scaffolding's gotta go is bad and wrong, I'm gonna cling to my scaffolding for forever. Everybody has pictures of somebody like this in their brain. It's always a stereotype, of course. It's some old person, right, who is, what do we say? Stuck in their ways. Oh my gosh, my grandpa says the craziest thing. My grandma, oh, I'm like, oh, grandma not in public. Oh, my crazy uncle. Oh, my dad. Oh no, he said this. Oh, so embarrassing. Implicitly, we understand that someone clinging dogmatically to a scaffolding is not to be lauded. Defensible positions, there's plenty of good things. I'm not saying that everything forever shifts in tectonic ways. No. Our understanding of like science and stuff, it's getting more precise and better. But that doesn't mean like one day we're gonna decide there's no such thing as gravity. No, we're pretty sure about that. Our specific understanding of it will get better. But like, you know, historically, geocentric universe versus heliocentric universe, stuff like that. We knew that like we weren't the only astral body out there. We knew that there were other things out there. We just didn't quite have a great handle on the order of them and how they act on one another and their spatial relationship to one another. And we didn't have all of that nailed down so much. And yet we today look back on people who posited and held dogmatically to a geocentric universe and go, ooh, even when they were presented with this math, ooh, even when they had this like empirical, observable, testable, repeatable evidence to the contrary, even, that person, a scientist, is not. That person, a reasonable person, is not. You cannot assume that the person across the table from you is acting in good faith. No. That in many instances that would be naive. That would make you gullible. Gullible to attack, to persuasion, to influence, to whatever. But someone has to make the first move. And you can decide, I'm going to treat this person as a person, not as an object, even though they've done nothing to earn it. Someone has to be soft enough of heart to do these things. And so long as we continue to dig in our heels on whatever it is we want to talk about, whatever it is we need to communicate, whatever it is we want to clarify or teach, so long as we refuse to deal with people as people, we're doomed. We're screwed. So many people are looking for a silver bullet. And I get that. Trust me, I do. Life is hard. And Gus, you coming out here and saying, I gotta do all these things, all this homework, just to be heard? Gus, I don't have the time. What do you really want? And if you don't want to be heard, if you don't want to be understood, if you don't want to like have a meaningful debate or discussion about like insert topic here, which Terminator was the best Terminator, like whatever your topic is, if you actually don't care, if that's not that meaningful to you, if it doesn't really matter, if someone comes to you and is like, I'm going to debate the Terminator movies and the significance thereof with you, you may very well go, that is not worth all of the homework. I want to debate this specific thing in this specific field in this, and you're like, that, I don't have like a specific interest in this thing. It's not worth it to me. That's okay. Not everything has to be worth it, okay? Not everything has to be, okay, I need to build a relationship with the scientist so that I can understand this new posit about this new measurement of gravity and the strong and weak nuclear forces and the blah blah. Not everything has to be like that. This is an individualized thing for each of you. And you must ask yourself, as must I, what do I want for this specific relationship? If I disagree with someone here about something, and I think that that something is important, if I think that it's meaningful, if I think it's worth all of this effort, then I will go through that effort. My actions will reflect the significance that I place on wanting to be effective when the time comes to actually talk about correcting bad behavior, correcting misunderstandings. The thing is, and this is where I'll end it, because thank you guys for the time checks. I have run out my clock here. The thing is, I have posited to you in all of my streams since I began something remarkable that maybe you have not thought remarkable, that maybe you haven't even noticed. It never even like piqued your interest. You didn't like raise a question in your brain. You didn't go, huh, interesting. Maybe it didn't occur to you at all. I have said in each of my streams that it is my aim to create content worthy of you. Meaningful content because you're meaningful. Content that matters because you matter. Content of value because you have value. What am I saying? In all of that, what am I saying? What am I implying? What am I committing to? That each of you are worth doing this with. Now, what's crazy is, in some instances, there's no behavior that needs correcting. There is no, I'm setting out to correct someone's bad behavior. In fact, I argue all the time to you guys, it is my posit to you, that we start here. We start with this notion, not of, okay, to get here, I've got to do this, and you backtrack all the way. No. I start with, you're worth it. But Gus, you don't know anything about me. I just got here. You're worth it. Whatever. Whatever effort it takes. I start with this, right? I practice getting out, staying out of the box with all of you. What if they're a jerk? Don't care. I don't want to be in the box. It's exhausting. It's awful. It leads to more destruction, more harm, and it robs me of my peace. Don't want it. Okay, let's move up. Build relationships. Yep, you're worth it. You're worth it to build relationships with the people around you. You're worth it to build relationships with you proper. You are worth it for me to understand your story, your experiences, your perspective, your ways, your walk, your thoughts, your feelings, all of that. It's valuable. I have decided that. But Gus, this person has such a bad take on this subject. It's valuable. For so many reasons, it's valuable. Because they're an individual with individual wants, needs, hopes, desires, dreams, background, and yes, perspective, that all important word, perspective. All of that is valuable if I'm to understand not just them, but people like them. Yes, they are unique, but they're not so distantly unique that I can't relate that information and the learning thereof to everybody or to nobody else. I can glean information and expand upon that. I can build. I want to have a schema for understanding. As broad a net as I can cast, I want that. It can only make me more effective in all four of these bottom ones. And then Teaching and communicating. This is the humaning stuff. That's these. This takes practice. This is muscles that many of us have not used before. Tools, techniques, attempts, discomfort. Oh, geez, work. Yep. Gotta do it. And I have decided already, you're worth it. You're worth getting good at this. You are worth the effort that I put into this business, which includes effort that I put into bettering myself as a communicator, as a listener, and as a human. I want to be a man of character such that I can better your lives. And mine is a consequence of that. I also get my life bettered as a result. My life, the life of my family. But y'all are the reason that I will go through all of that effort. I don't start with, this person is wrong. All right. Now, how do I get, what's the fastest route to me getting to tell them they're wrong and have it stick? No. I start with that question. What do I want for this relationship? And my answer is for your thriving. I want you to win. That's what Mel has written on her status in Discord, and I love it. Every time I see it, it makes my heart happy. She says, I want you to win. And that is reflected in how she conducts herself with others. It is not her want, at least in my experience, to dunk on people. I want you to win in this life. I want you to succeed. I want you to thrive. Yes, I want you to have accurate information from which you can make accurate decisions to lead your life wisely. I want y'all to thrive. Which means I need to do my very best to better who I am in this chair on this program to best serve you. What do I really want for this relationship? Well, if all of what I just said is true, my actions ought to reflect it. You may not have noticed that that's been in all of my streams going all the way back to the beginning, my saying those things. But each time that I say it, this is what I'm betraying. This is what I want for the relationship. And you guys have heard me say something else, and here as I close. Follow on Twitch. Subscribe on YouTube. Join the Discord, right? Do those things. But my assurance is not that I'll be perfect, right? I say my aim is to create content worthy of you. My aim is to do my aim. But the only guarantee is that I'm going to fall short. The only guarantee is that I'm going to screw it up, right? The only guarantee is I'm a human. I'm going to blow it. I'm going to disappoint you. Disappointment in chief here. Don't forget your merch, right? All that. And then I say, please extend to me that grace. My hope is that you will be patient with me when I screw up, and with one another when you guys screw up. And I think that all of that is a good basis for following and for staying followed. For staying followed on Twitch, for having one more name in the top left of the people who are online, in the long list of people you've got in there cluttering up your space. I think that all of that is a good justification to stay here, to stay tuned in here, to not unfollow. But then I say, but if ever you feel that I am not doing that I'm no longer striving, that I'm no longer aiming, unfollow. What am I saying? If my words don't match my actions, if my words don't match my walk, unfollow. What do I really want for the relationship? If that were true, what will my actions look like? If you notice a pattern of he says this, but his actions don't match it, don't be manipulated. Don't be lied to. Don't be deceived. Don't be used. If I say I'm trying to love you, but my walk never shows that, red flags should be going up. That's why I say that all the time. That's why I say, if you feel that I've betrayed you somehow, and you see a pattern, not just of like a one-off thing and where maybe you extend patience and grace to me, but you see that that these two don't match up, and they don't typically, unfollow. That might be the wisdom and discernment that you need to parse good, healthy relationships from unhealthy ones. I'm thrilled that we got through these books together, friends. I'm thrilled for those of you who made the time and benefited from them. I'm thrilled to hear the stories that you guys have of how this has affected your home, your workplace, your dating, in the case of one person. I'm thrilled because I want for your good. I want what's good for you. I want what will see you thrive. I want that. And there's more to come. I have much more to say about it. I will put out an announcement and talk about it in the Discord and stuff like that. But the next series that comes after this is going to be a steering away from the serious, okay? It's going to be the silly for a while, because we're going into the plant streams. I don't know. I'm still crunching numbers and stuff right now. There's still stuff on my schedule that is going to see stuff messed up. My aim was to start that next week. This month is very busy for military, for travel. I've got some family things. There's a bunch of stuff on my calendar that is really conflicting with things. So I was really hoping to have a concrete answer for this by tonight. Alas, I don't have one. I will let you know as soon as I do whether or not Friday the 13th, one week from tonight, will be the beginning of the plant streams, and exactly how I want to go about it, okay? It will be different no matter how I choose to execute this in the 11th hour here. It will be different than previous years. It will not be executed exactly the same. I've got ideas, I've got notions, I've got strictures, I've got a bunch of stuff of how I will do it, and I have talked behind the scenes with patrons, at the higher level patrons, about this in the past, and I will be talking to them about it here shortly in the future, as I need to do our bonus talk for the month of September. And we'll be discussing more of this. I'll be reaching out to capos and above soon at TM, before I get whisked away into all of the busyness and the madness. But I'll keep you posted. In the meantime, tomorrow night, Mafia. We get to play Mafia. We get to go back to some silliness. That's going to be very fun. Tuesday in it is going to be more ape legs, and I will keep you posted for next week. Okay? Okay. Again, follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube, join the Discord, the heart of all that we get up to, the community, the hub. Big thanks to the patrons who make all this possible. Again, you didn't see any ads interrupting our time together tonight because I'm not sponsored on any of those platforms. I'm not brought to you by them, I'm brought to them. I'm brought to you, by these folks who've parted with their hard-won dollars to see that this information gets out there. So especially big thank yous to Aki, BV, Bootless, CJ number 2, Dano, Leanne, Ferret, Goose, Jen, Joke, Abby, Marty, Karma, Pre, Zen, Ryan, Thump, Tech, Mouse, Trotsky, Pell, Dragon, CJ number 1, and Zen. Thank you guys like crazy. Again, it bears repeating. Any good that comes from this is because of you lot.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Roy, thank you for the follow. I take those very seriously. I aim to earn them. And if you've heard anything from the last, especially 10-15 minutes of my flapping my gums, you know that. So I hope that I can earn it. And again, if that appears to you, given time to be a lie, unfollow. Test me. See if my walk matches my words. That's the test that everybody ought to put me to. I'm just human. But I'm gonna try very hard to be a good one. Cheers to you lot. Fabulous humans who've parted with this time. Thank you. Now I'm gonna raid. It's a short night, which usually means there's people on that aren't normally on. And I wanna raid. In particular, I wanna raid somebody that I didn't get to raid last week, because they ended early. I don't even know what they're playing. But new person, new old person. Okay? They're live. We're gonna do it. Marsh, Gus, you're a legend. Marsh, were you here for tonight? Did you hear all of this? A bunch of that's directed at you. Thank you for being here, Marsh. I know there's a bunch of folks. I think I saw Zombie pop in. I missed a bunch of chat, you guys. I'm terribly sorry for having missed so much chat, but I'm also enormously grateful to all of you who did field chat, who welcomed in folks, who answered questions. Thank you. I will be looking at chat after this to go back and see who all I missed and stuff like that. So yeah, hope to see you guys tomorrow night for, again, Mafia after a whole day of military miserableness. But yeah, lurking, but I haven't been listening. That's okay. I'm not offended, Marsh. I'm just glad to have you. Happy I could follow before you raid it. And I am also happy for that, new friend. Welcome into this thing. Welcome into the life. I'll go back and listen in. I'd be flattered, Marsh. I think you would concur with a lot of the things in there because from what I know about you, new friend, you seem a swell sort, and I would not be the least bit surprised if you're like, hey, I know those things. Gang, who I want to raid is Rika. Rika is a new old friend, okay? She is connected to a bunch of this extended community. And I only recently found out that she streamed at all. I did not know that. But she's swell. She is incredibly sweet. I have Trotsky. Hello, Trotsky. I have to end early tonight. Yes, I do. Military stuff early in the morning means I need to go to bed like now. So yes, thank you for calling out Trotsky. Mel, I appreciate you. Trotsky, it's very good to see you. Very much. Yes, we're gonna go raid Rika. This is someone new, gang. As ever, I never ask anybody blindly follow, okay? You do your own vibe checks. You like what you see, you stick around, you do your follow, do all that stuff. That's great. If you don't want to, don't. If you guys want to stick around for the raid, you'd be doing me a kindness. I'd really appreciate it very much. Go meet a new friend, share some love. Rika's very sweet. I don't even know what she's playing tonight, but she's playing something. So if you guys could copy this raid message that's floating around, this raid message right here, and drop it over there, let her know who sent you, I'd be grateful. This is the first time that our communities will bump up against each other. And so I follow this gal because she's a sweetheart and she seems like she's very entertaining. She's got a wholesome community who, incidentally, was the community that I mentioned earlier. They were very welcoming to me. They were incredibly hospitable. Hospitality, 10 out of 10, okay? That's what I say about Marsh. Marsh has incredible hospitality. And I don't take it for granted at all. It's like one of the first things I will look for. So thank you guys for everything you do and being here. You go along with this raid, I'm grateful. So what does it look like? To join the Discord, do hard mode alongside the remarkable men and women of the Mafia who've agreed to try life doing the same. For the silliness tomorrow night, come and see. And as ever, I will strive to see that it's a decision that you don't regret. In the meantime, I wish for you each marvelous evenings, mornings, wherever ye be, and I will see you on the other side. 3, 2, 1, raid. Let's go, baby.